Good morning, Packers fans. Aaron Negler here with your Packers Daily Chat on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Hope you're all doing well. I am not well rested. Had another fitful night's sleep. That thing where you wake up at 4:30, and then can't get back to bed, so you wake up, and then you're like dog-ass tired, so you fall back asleep for a little bit, and then all of a sudden you're back up, and you haven't slept. That's me today. So I apologize for my stupidness, my more than usual stupidness anyway. Good morning to everybody in the comments section. Good to see everybody chopping it up as per usual. Big day around the Packers beat as we finally get to hear from the new defensive coordinator. Matt LaFleur and his coordinators will be addressing the media later this afternoon if you're on the East Coast, 12:45. Just hitting the morning if you're in the Central Time Zone at 11:45. And then we will hear from Brian Gutekunst this afternoon. And then this evening at 5 p.m. Eastern. I think I said 6 yesterday, which was incorrect. 5 p.m. Eastern today here on Cheesehead TV. I'll be talking to Corey Lindsley, somewhat on his way out the door. But we love Corey here at Cheesehead TV. We make no bones about it. Wanted to have him on one last time as an official member of the Green and Gold before, Brian Gutekunst kicks him out the door, which is apparently set to happen. Although maybe Corey will break some news and say the Packers have called. I'm not holding my breath on that one, though. Hello, everybody in the comments. Good to see you. Aaron Harper, good morning. Stockholm, Sweden, checking in. What's up, Rick? Hello from New York City. Hope you're doing well. Kevin Gibson, what's up? Hope you're well, man. Sick of people hating on JJ. He went with the most money. So would all of your sour grapes because he didn't choose Green Bay. Christopher, it's always about the money. Yes, 1,000% correct. And anyone saying that they would forego $23 million guaranteed for the honor of playing in Green Bay, well, yeah, that's just funny talk. I think I was asked yesterday, was it, about hometown discounts being a myth? And look, I mean, that kind of phrase has sprung up from teams trying to get guys to stay. So in this instance, it would be JJ giving Houston a hometown discount, which obviously he was not interested in. But yeah, I mean, money is green wherever you go, and whoever's got the most of it has got the best chance of landing you. Now, I do love that we already have the leak wars in full effect. It didn't take long after JJ announced his, and I did like how he announced it himself via social media, his choice of the Cardinals, where we got a report about how somebody in Houston was saying JJ wasn't a good locker room presence, blah, blah, blah. And then after that, there was a report about how, he had more money on the table from other teams, blah, 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 but he chose the Card. Okay, great. I mean, everybody's going to try and get their narrative to catch hold. Fact of the matter remains, he went where there was a boatload of money. The Cardinals obviously were in a good position because they have a quarterback on a rookie deal, which allows you a lot more flexibility. And they landed J.J. Watt. And I hope he enjoys watching Aaron Rodgers carve he and his defense up next year when the Packers travel to Arizona. That'll be 2 years in a row, as Tyler pointed out on the Cheesehead TV Twitter account yesterday. Going to be fun, JJ. Going to be fun. I guess winning is not as important as money. See that? No, of course not. Money is the most important thing. Don't ever, ever get the two confused, conflated, what have you. Now, that said, the Cardinals could be a winning team. They could be a playoff team. Hell, they could be a dark horse Super Bowl candidate. We don't know, especially sitting here in February. Or I'm sorry. It's March now, March 2nd. So, teams jump up all the time. There's no guarantee that the Packers are going to be on the doorstep of a Super Bowl again. There's no guarantee that the Cardinals won't make the playoffs. I understand the sour grapesness of it all, but, Arizona's got a lot of talent. Now, I think they're kind of hamstrung at head coach, but that's another story. But, the Cardinals winning a lot of football games is not the craziest idea. That's all I'll say. Kevin Talley has a simple message. Aaron Jones in all exclamation points. Aaron Jones. Perhaps the franchise tag is in play. Something I'm sure Brian Gutekunst will be asked about today, and he will punt on, but I look forward to asking, or someone will. Any chance they target Shelby Harris or Jarrell Casey? I would love Jarrell Casey in green and gold. I know he's dealt with some injuries, but man, if they could make that work, put him next to Kenny and let him cook, I am down for it. But we'll see. I tend to think that's a guy who's probably going to get paid and probably won't be in Green Bay. Dustin, thanks for the super chat. Aaron Negler left PG for CHTV for the money. That is true. Corey's very first pitch was, "I'll pay you more than you're making on the beat." So it's always about the money, man. Josh Neiman would take a hometown discount. I love you guys. Do you think we bring in a vet to compete at cornerback, or do we draft to fill the position? I don't think it's either one of those. Actually, I would suspect. Now we'll see how free agency actually plays out, but I would suspect they're going to try and let one of those guys on the roster already develop. If it's Josh Jackson, if it's Kadar Holman, if it's one of the other guys who hasn't really gotten a chance as far as a ton of playing time yet, we'll see. We'll see how they feel on their draft and develop idea at the cornerback position. I kick ass 44. Thanks for the super chat. Am I the only one who isn't devastated about the JJ news? I'd rather fill multiple spots, hopefully, than pay big for just one. No, you are not the only one who is not devastated. In fact, I think a large part of my Twitter feed yesterday was all about how I think most Packer fans were resigned to the idea that JJ wasn't going to be able to sign in Green Bay because of the money. So you are not alone. Walter, thank you for the super chat. On to the next free agent crush, I guess. Well, I say let Clark cook by getting him a sous chef. Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there, and I like it. We need a sous chef for Clark to let him cook. I am all in on that, Walter. William, thanks for the super chat. You and Wes are the GOATs. Nice talk yesterday. William, thank you so much for checking it out. If anyone hasn't yet, my latest Let's Talk Football with one Mr. Wes Hodkiewicz of Packers.com is up here on the YouTube channel. Also available on our Facebook page. Always great to talk to Wes. That guy is the best of the best. He doesn't pull punches, even though he works for the team. Always love talking to Wes. I always learn something when I talk to Wes. So, yeah, if you guys haven't checked that out, as William has, highly encourage you to do so. Justin, thank you for the super chat. Why did fans want Watt in the first place? Because he's a good football player. Look, I know he was injured a couple years ago, and he didn't have a ton of sacks last year. He was also the most double-teamed edge rusher in football last year, and he would be really good in the Packers defense. That's why fans wanted J.J. Watt. You know, the idea is to collect good players to win football games. J.J. Watt would help in that regard. That's not a complicated formula. Never get a free agent or draft crushes. It only leads to heartbreak. Rusty, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. As I said last year, I'll do it again this year. The surest way to ensure the Packers will not be acquiring a player is for me to declare them a draft crush. My draft crushes are never drafted by the Packers. What are my thoughts on Sherman coming to the Pack? Angela, I would tend to doubt the Packers would lay out anything approaching what Sherman is probably going to land in free agency contract-wise. I know the idea would be come chase a ring with Rodgers, but I just think he's going to get paid somewhere. I don't think Green Bay's got the cash to do it. I love the idea. I love the idea of Richard Sherman, like public enemy number one in Green Bay for a few years, would now turn around and chase a ring, much like Jim McMahon back in the day. But yeah, I don't see it happening. Now, you know, they do say Nagler's never right. So we'll find out. Michael, thank you for the super chat. I know this is apropos of nothing, but the Bears have no QB, and Khalil Mack's 2021 cap number is $26 million. Bears still and always will suck. Look at you putting it together, giving us tangible proof of the Bears' suckitude. I like it, Michael. I like it a lot. Is Williams really not coming back, or are they waiting to see what he gets on the market so they don't overpay him? Josh, I would tend to think they are going to let him walk, and I hope they say, now this might be something we ask Gutekunst later today, you know, if you don't find what you're looking for, you are welcome back. But even if a guy is welcome back, he's still got to come back at a severely discounted rate. I don't know if Williams is down for that. You know, I know a lot of hay was made about Jones switching agents, but Williams switched agents too, which is kind of funny because they were both under Lee Steinberg's umbrella, Steinberg Sports. And then both of them got drafted together, had the same agent, played 4 years, got to contract time, and both of them fired their agents. So a little crazy. But yeah, is there a possibility of that happening? Yes. Do I see it happening? No. B-Town, thanks for the super chat. GSET TV podcast with all shows, Packers Daily, Let's Talk Football, etc. How do we get into a bad spot with a salary cap? Hi, Mom. I don't know what all of that means. A Cheesehead TV podcast with all the shows. Yeah, I mean, I used to do it, but I try to make the Let's Talk Football stuff exclusive to the video side. You know, gotta get those streams, baby. Gotta get those numbers up. It's all about the money, as the title of this video says. How did we get into a bad spot with the salary cap? That's easy. The pandemic hit. They'd have been fine without a pandemic. But then a pandemic hit. Oh, and they paid Aaron Rodgers. You throw all that together, it's pretty clear why they got into a bad spot with the salary cap. They did not plan for a pandemic. I think they've done a really good job maneuvering around so far, being able to get David Bakhtiari, Kenny Clark under contract, knowing that they were going to be in trouble. And those guys have very minimal cap hits comparative to their importance to the team. So, yeah, that's how it sucks. But Goody has a presser today. Yes, Alex. Goody will be talking this afternoon. Popeye's Beef, thanks for the super chat. It seems like this is a great time to have a financial wizard in Russ Ball. What is the best way to know he did a good job in a challenging time? They keep the players they want to keep. And so far, like I said, they're off to a good start with Clark and Bakhtiari. Once Adams gets done, I think you can really start applauding him. And it'll be very interesting to see how he approaches the Rodgers contract. That's the big one that I think Zach Cruz has pointed out. We'll be able to tell a lot about their thinking probably by how they handle Rodgers' contract. But, I mean, you don't need to go very far to see how good at his job Russ Ball is. The fact that this team has kept really high-level talent in the fold year after year after year, and now they are presented with a very unique, once-in-a-generation situation. And like I said, they've gone about their business re-signing guys without a problem. So, and I know people are going to say, what about Corey Linsley or what about Aaron Jones? You know, they were planning for life after those guys already. That's why they drafted A.J. Dillon. That's why they drafted 3 interior guys. You know, this is the plan. Draft, develop, and then they pay the core guys, which they did for Corey Linsley the first time around, but this is his 3rd contract. Now, maybe something ends up getting done at the last minute. I doubt it. But for the most part, they've been able to keep a really talented core together. And that's because they have Russ Ball. Corey Davis would be a nice Corey alternative if we don't get Linsley back. Steven, I love Corey. I've made no secret of my love for him. I loved him when I was scouting stuff for Sports Illustrated when he came out. I know he's had a real up and down time down there in Tennessee. I think much of that has been quarterback driven or lack of quarterback driven. But yeah, I think I would love him in the green and gold. That's a guy I think there's a somewhat realistic chance that they could land due to his familiarity with LaFleur, the offense, and the idea of come play with Aaron Rodgers for something a little bit maybe below market, still going to pay you, a fair going rate, but something below market that we can get you in here and you come chase a ring and up your numbers, etc. Maybe on a 2-year deal, that would be something I think that they would be amiable toward. What else we got here, folks? Hi, folks. Haven't caught a live session for a while. Hope you're all good. Lenny, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Nags, get some linebackers. Teams fear. Brandy, teams don't fear anyone. They respect all. They fear no one. No, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we all want that killer inside linebacker. Been chasing that dream for decades, apparently, it feels like, since Desmond Bishop, really. But it's just not a position that they, put too much importance about whenever we're choose one. I'd love a sideline to sideline 3-down backer, but they are hard to find. Usually, traditionally, you got to get up way high in the draft to find them. And the Packers are drafting way low. So good luck on your quest, but I think they'll continue to use some Band-Aids and a Band-Aid approach. Nags, fun fact. No team has won a Super Bowl when the quarterback takes up more than 15% of the camp. Rusty, wasn't that 13%? I thought it was like 13.3 or something like that. And I don't even know. I know I read that last year, but I don't even know what Brady's percentage was this year. Cards winning a bunch of games is just as probable as them finishing third or fourth in their division. Well, the West is stacked, so yeah, that's not crazy. Darnell Savage is about to take off big time. Matt, from your typing to the football god's ears, I hope so. Obviously, he had a bit of a slow start the 2020 season, but really came on as the year went along. I got to think a tip of the hat goes to Jerry Gray there. He did an excellent job of the secondary overall and has been rewarded with a promotion to passing game coordinator on the defensive side and secondary coach. But yeah, Savage really started to take off as the year went on. I love his ability near the line of scrimmage. And I think he really improved in some of the center field stuff, the single high stuff. Got to keep going, though. Got to keep going. Certainly hasn't arrived, but I'm with you, man. I think he's just still scratching the surface. I heard a report that if the Packers tag Aaron Jones, that it is possible they could turn around and trade him to the Dolphins for their second number one draft pick. Brian, all right. You were doing really well there until the first round pick thing. This isn't fantasy football, as Ted used to say. Could they get a first for Aaron Jones? I guess if Miami woke up and decided to like get absolutely nuts, but more likely they would be able to trade him. But I'd be absolutely shocked if it was for one of Miami's first round picks. Next, there seems to be 3 legit middle linebackers in this year's draft. Do the Packs finally make that position a priority? No. Preston Smith most likely won't see the end of his contract, I think. A lot of ball game left there. The fact that he wasn't with that initial release group with Kirksey and Wagner makes me think that they want to try to at least do something with the contract. Some kind of adjustment / pay cut, I think, is in his future. We'll see if he reaches the end of it. You know, it wouldn't be shocking if he didn't, though. Big time Bill Withers vibes on the opening music. Jacob, that's the best fucking thing I've heard all week. That's phenomenal. I know it's only Tuesday, but it's probably the best thing I'm going to hear all week. I love Bill Withers. Love Bill Withers. So I thank you for that. That is a great association. If you could select one beat reporter to have a one-on-one punting competition with J.K. Scott, who would you choose? Joey, that is the most you question I have ever heard. The beat reporter to have a punting competition with J.K. Scott. You know, back in the day, I would have said Michael Cohen. But seeing as he's no longer on the beat, I'll have to choose Steve McGarty. And I would have to thank him for doing it. Finally going to hear from the DC. What would you like to ask him? What his definition of aggressive is? No, I do. The one thing I've thought about that I really want to ask is about traveling Jair and about using him as a bit more of a chess piece, because it's something Pettin really wasn't prone to do. He liked to play the sides. He didn't kick him inside a whole lot. He did sometimes, but more often than not, if you're an offensive play caller, you knew where Jair was going to be. And traditionally, the defense that he supposedly wants to run, that's the reporting from Spoon, is, you know, the Vic Fangio style. A big component of that defense is showing the same thing again and again and again pre-snap, which would leave Jair pretty much in the same spot. But is he going to be, you know, a little bit more malleable? Is he going to be allowing Jair to travel with number ones? So that's the one thing I'd really like to know. Next, when was the last time the Packers drafted a linebacker? Was it AJ Hawk? Big Al, that's the last time they drafted one in the first round, but they've drafted linebackers. Now, maybe they didn't work out, but they've drafted linebackers since then. Do you agree with the draft trade value chart? Do I agree with it? I think it's interesting to see which teams still adhere to it and which teams are using the newer ones that have been developed. I know some guys at Harvard put one out. I know there's some guys who actually started basically on a message board that put one out that's kind of really well regarded. I know there are teams that use a kind of conflux of all three. So do I believe in it? I believe teams use it. That's good enough for me. And it's like, I mean, look, if you see a trade, say is over the weekend of the draft, right? And I know, like I said, there are new, updated, better trade value charts. But if you just go to the Jimmy Johnson one, the one that he made back in the day when he was with the Cowboys, you can get a pretty good handle on where value lies. Now, is it lock solid? Would I invest millions of dollars and absolutely bet my job, steering a franchise on it? No. But as an outside observer, I can take a look at it real quick and go, okay, so that's even value, or there's a lot more value on this one side than there is on the other. It's like that scene in Seven with Morgan Freeman. You can't use the information directly. It's just a useful guide. Love that movie. What comp pick do you think we get for Blake? Well, I talked to Wes yesterday, and he seems to think it'll be around a 4th, which I think sounds right. We'll see. You got Blake, and you got Brian Bulaga, and the Packers themselves signed, Kirksey and Wagner, but those were two very, very small contracts comparatively. So hopefully they end up getting at least a 4th somewhere in the comp selections. It only matters if the player you trade for works out. Wise words, Alex. Wise words. All right, everybody. I'm going to have to get going. Can't thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers with me each and every morning. Really means a lot that you make Cheesehead TV part of your daily Packers routine. Please do me a monster favor and hit like on this video. Subscribe to the channel. And if you really want to support what Cheesehead TV does, please consider giving us $5 a month on our Patreon page, patreon.com/CheeseheadTV. Most of the spots you arrive at on the internet that cover the Packers have some sort of corporate backing. If you go high enough up the ladder, there's a corporate entity that owns them. Cheesehead TV is pure love and devotion from Corey and myself. It is a bootstrap enterprise. Every bit of support really means a lot. I understand not everybody can jump on Patreon, given whatever circumstances we all find ourselves in these days with the pandemic and what have you. So if you can't do that, please do hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends, tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Don't forget, 5 p.m. Eastern, right here on the YouTube channel, I'll be talking to Corey Lindsley, center for the Green Bay Packers, for the next couple weeks. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day. Go Pack Go.